Hi everyone, this is Paulette from Water Chariot Tarot, and I'm going to be doing your general read for the week of the 7th all the way through the 11th. So how it's going to go this time is I'm going to be doing oracle reads instead of the tarot. So let's take a look and see what I got for you guys today. So your main message is confidence. It comes with time and practice. So your main message right now is that some of you are dealing with a situation right now where you're not feeling quite yourself. You don't feel mentally strong enough to deal with what's going on in your current situation, because this is a general read. It has to do with work or friendships, family members. It could be anything. But there's something that's keeping you in this place where you don't feel confident enough to deal with the situation. It's keeping you stuck in your head. If you notice, the bag has the sword on there. So remember, it's kind of like the tarot. Swords have to do with our mind, with our thinking. And so you're kind of stuck right now, feeling less than. And what else is going on is that you're probably seeing other people around you who are fully confident in their relationships, fully confident at work. They have confidence in everything they do. If this could also be maybe social media taking place where maybe you don't feel confident about yourself physically. And so you're not seeing yourself in the bright light. And so you're letting social media, Facebook, anything, movies, magazines, just put you in this place where you lack the confidence about yourself. So this can actually go in a lot of ways. But wherever it resonates for you, if you know you're lacking confidence in an area, this has to do with that. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and move into what is happening currently right now with you in your situation. So you ended up getting sun. Paint the sun back into the sky. And if you notice, it's nighttime. You have been in a dark place while you've been feeling this way. Now that you're in this dark place, Spirit is asking you to go on ahead and start bringing the light back. Remember I told you, you're not seeing the light. I did say that. You're not seeing good things about yourself. You're not feeling confident about yourself. There's something going on right now that's making you feel dark things, making you feel stuck mentally, not being able to move forward and feeling like you're lacking in areas. So right now, Spirit is saying that you can paint the sun back into your sky. You don't have to remain in this dark place. You don't have to remain in your thoughts. You have to find a way to set yourself free. Okay? This also has to do with, the card is talking about, situations in life where we tend to create things for other people. Like, say, for instance, if we end up renting an apartment or buying a home, and we're only doing it because of somebody else. Not really because we desired that, but we're just building things, building homes with other people just so we can keep them there. But this card is telling you not to build things with other people just so you can get the joy that you've been looking for, just so you can seek the happiness that you've been lacking. If anything, always prepare yourself every single day. Remember that everything that you do in this life, you need to do it for yourself. You bring your own self-joy. You bring your own self-confidence. You bring your own self-money. You are the one that has to put in the work for yourself. And eventually you're going to have to figure out how to be happy, how to be joyful without other people, without a specific job, without a specific income. You got to learn how to adapt to what you already got. And I'm not saying being content in that. We always can grow, always want more relationships or a different type of relationship or more money, a different job. We want to acquire things. Those things are good. But, sometimes we have to remember that what we got in the moment, we need to find contentment in it too. Okay? And just make sure that those things that we find, joy in, we're not doing it for other people, but we're doing it for ourselves. So don't build a home, don't build anything to keep other people, because what's going to happen eventually is that people don't always stay. What they say a lot of the time, that wording, that people are only on your path for a little while, only for a season, and other people actually stay for a lifetime. And so I don't know what's going on with you right now, particularly right now is showing that there's something mentally going on with you that is, may not be extremely stressful, but it's putting you in a place of lack and where you're stuck, and not feeling good about yourself. So make sure that you're not doing things to make somebody else happy. You got to bring your joy back, because if you notice, look at her. She is so distressed and she is so sad and she is lacking and she's just up in her head. She needs to bring that back, that light back to herself. Okay? So people will come and go. We cannot build anything knowing that people are not going to last in our lives. Okay? So just remember that. Now, the next card that you have is what is your fear? And what you ended up getting is mural. Be your own first priority. And so, of course, if you notice, she is working real hard to build her dream castle, to build her dreams. She's just sketching, what it is that she wants her life to look like. She's putting herself first. She's coming up with the idea, coming up with the thoughts, and then drawing it, and then eventually putting it into action. But she's putting herself first. She's taking out time to do that. And so probably what's happening right now, because you're in lack right now mentally, you're stuck, and Spirit is asking you to paint your sun back into your sky, and things are not going exactly where they need to go, because there might be a possibility that either your job will be asking you to leave, or you're thinking of leaving but kind of stuck on it, or friendships, that you've had, they're starting to go away. People are starting to pull back and they're not there anymore. Even family members, they're not there when you need them. And you can't depend on them anymore, and it's brought you into this dark place. It could also be a relationship where you thought it was going to last, and right now it seems like what you built is that person's not there, or they're about to leave. And you know that. You've been seeing the signs of that, and you've been feeling it. And your fear is that if you put yourself first and you start working on you, you know that moment that you put yourself first is when you're going to have to let them go. And you have to be honest and be truthful about the situation, saying, yes, this is over. Or you have to, the reality just came in once you start putting yourself first, that things are changing and things are not going to go back to where they need to be. And it's a scary thing. You're going to have to face reality when you put yourself first, because now you're not thinking about the other person anymore. You're not trying to do the work for that other person anymore. You're not doing a lot what you used to do prior. Maybe at work you weren't, you're constantly doing projects. You're trying to get your leg up in that place. And then if you start saying no to certain projects, or start saying no to your boss about things, what's going to happen is that they may see you differently. And you're putting yourself first. You're putting your foot down and saying, no, I don't want to do all this extra work. You're not paying me extra. But the reality is going to hit. Okay? So let's go ahead and move on. And we're going to go into your what's coming in for you. Okay, energy-wise. So what's coming in is Castle. It's time for healing and not war. This card actually reminds me of the Tower card. If you notice, everything is just all over the place. The foundation is broken. Everything's been like, the fire is like took up everything. It's already done everything. All the buildings are burnt up. There's ashes everywhere. And what this card has to do with, it has to do with a couple of things first. One of the things that it mentions in the book, it talks about how you were very angry and upset, and you got sick of what was going on in your situation, and so you decided to fight right back. Either you defended yourself, or you just lashed out at that person, because in the heat of the moment you were angry, and guess what? You caused a fire. You caused the fire, and now you can't take it back. Whatever happened between you and that person, you and your boss, you and your coworker, you and your family member, or whatever the situation is, you caused this fire to happen, and then now everything's burnt up in ashes. And if you notice, I'm trying to bring it close up to you, but if you notice her face, like underneath her eyes, she's got tears. Even though in that moment she caused all of this, and she let her emotions get the best of her, and she did what she felt like she needed to do, now she's in the aftermath, and she's sad, probably depressed, and maybe regretting what she might have said, or how she did things, or how she started the fight. But the thing is that if you end up doing this, because this is what's coming up, if you end up doing this where you feel like you have to defend yourself from a situation that's making you feel like your confidence is not there because of a specific person or a job or whatever is going on, and you go ahead and you start this war, just remember that you have to see it through. There's nothing you can do to come back from it. There's always fatalities in war. Somebody's going to die from the situation. So I suggest that if you do end up doing this, which is upcoming, or a person ends up doing this with you, remember that everything that's been destroyed can easily be removed after a certain amount of time. It can be all removed, and things can be built right back up. You have that time, after this is over, to really think about where you want to go, where you're headed, how you want things to be in your life. You can take your own direction, even though after everything that happened, it was painful for you, but you have the power to do it. You just really need to take some alone time and really search and put in the work and start building yourself back up again, okay? All right, so what's next is action being taken. And so what came up is escapist. Come home to yourself. I love how the cards just fall sometimes, because they really do make a lot of sense. The order they just come out is just ridiculous. I know this whole situation, whatever it is, I think I might be speaking to either one or two people that are really dealing with something that's super heavy. And even something that's not that heavy, it's still gotten you into a mental space where you're just not yourself. You're dealing with a lot here, right? But at the same time, while you're here and you're stuck, like I showed you in the first, your main message, you're stuck. The way you're keeping yourself stuck is by escaping the entire situation. And so this card is saying that it's okay to, when dealing with the stress, or after what happens, like I said, what was coming in after the aftermath, you have time alone. You may want to be alone. You may want to maybe go on a trip, just like a 2-day, 3-day type of weekend or something, get away, go somewhere fun, just to escape from the situation. You might binge watch things. You might eat, and just, some people do tend to eat when they're emotional and not feeling themselves. You just might go find something that makes you, briefly feel some kind of joy or release. But this card is a warning also that not to stay there too long. and do your very best to get up out of this, because the longer you stay in escaping, the longer it's going to take you to actually face this entire situation. Spirit is asking you to face this head on. Whatever this is, you got to face it. You got to deal with it. And what you're fearing, you got to put yourself first, and you got to put in the work. Okay, you got to get yourself right out of this situation. After you said what you needed to say, after you put an end to whatever this was and everything just crumbled, you got to face whatever's left over, which is everything's broken right now. And you might be a little bit broken from whatever's happening, or maybe the stress, or just like you are not exactly where you need to be emotionally, mentally, and you feel exhausted. All of that you have to face, but you have to find a way to put in the effort to get yourself back up and build everything back up again and make everything brand new. And that requires a lot from you. That requires a lot. But the thing is, Spirit is saying that they hear you, they are here for you, and they're going to be there to guide you. If you feel something like a warmth feeling in your body, and it feels like love, or you feel like a little bit of relief, or you feel like somebody's touching you, you got a guide. Okay, maybe an angel or a spirit. Some people believe in animal spirits. You might end up seeing that. And you're going to feel a connection with that. But just know that you're not battling this by yourself. The universe is giving you this message because it knows, and it's seeing what's happening to you right now, and it's encouraging you to step out of your stuckness, get out of what's been bothering you so much, the situation that's been keeping you trapped for so long. Just get yourself out of it. You don't have to rush, but you do take your time, but at the same time, make sure that you face whatever this is so you can be free. Okay? And so the last card that I got for you is the outcome. And so what I got is library. Take control of your own narrative. This card is, now I can kind of see why you're stuck here. Okay. So like I said, I just love doing tarot, and I love reading oracle cards because, man, the messages, they just really come together. The cards really come together really well. So this card has to do with somebody trying to come in and manipulate you, trying to manipulate the situation. There's somebody that will abuse you emotionally to get what they want from you. I mean, this could be a work situation where they know that you will never say no to something. And so they will do everything they can to say something specific to make you say yes. Or they put pressure on you and they try to control you in a certain kind of way. This could also be a coworker who is probably doing something in particular to put you in a place where they feel like they have the upper hand. This could be a family member, a lover. It could be anybody that, is trying to come in and get something from you and keep you exactly right where they want you to be, which is here. You don't want to be there, and you got to get out of there. Okay. So this person is doing a fantastic job at pulling the strings, okay, and holding you there and keeping you there. Now it's time for you to get those scissors, cut yourself the hell right off of these hands. And if you notice, underneath there's books. It's saying that you need to write your own narrative. Once you cut yourself out of there, she needs to drop into that book, and she needs to rewrite her story. She needs to redo things all over again for herself. But it's not up to these hands. It's not up to this person to write your story. It's not up to this person what you need to do, what your next steps are. They can't make you feel a certain kind of way. I mean, like I said earlier, I did mention something about social media. Sometimes social media has a massive control about how we feel about ourselves. This is not just a message for women. I know men go through it all the time. You don't hear about it often, about men feeling a certain kind of way after they watch something on social media like TikTok or, we just constantly see people how they do these upgrades on their bodies. Some people are honest and they say that they get surgery done. And so we see them perfect. They have the perfect boobs, perfect face, perfect lips, perfect hips. You know, they got everything perfect. Even their skin looks smooth. Their hair just never falls out of place. I mean, their makeup is ridiculous for the men. I mean, these guys look amazing. They have muscles everywhere. They work out. I mean, they just go, they do so much to themselves to make them look the way they do. But you have to understand that a lot of these people spend a lot of money to make themselves look like that. That is not a reality. That is something that they, worked at their job to gain money for and to put themselves in that position to look like that. But if it wasn't for the money, they wouldn't look like that. That is not reality. Some people actually do put in the work and they watch their diet, they exercise every day, and they do the work. But it's a lot of work. And so sometimes seeing things like that, seeing social media put so much pressure on women and men that they should look a specific way. I mean, it's even a huge trend on teeth. Like people shaving down their teeth. Why are you doing that? Why are you putting fake teeth on? For what? Who are you trying to please? Are you trying to get people to follow you? Are you really not happy with your teeth? Does somebody say something to you to make you feel displeased with how you look? Social media can control us. They control our minds and put us in a place where, we won't be able to acquire the things that we want out of life if we don't look like this, or if we don't have this by this age, or if we don't have this type of relationship, or if we don't post this, that means that we're not happy. We have to cut the cords of whoever's controlling us right now, controlling our minds, controlling our steps, and just set yourself free. You got to set yourself free and bring that confidence back in yourself. If somebody's doing this, have them kick rocks. You're going to have to set this war going. You got to fight for yourself, even though it is the scary thing, but it's what's coming. And yes, what's going to be left behind is going to be dead and gone. And sometimes we have we don't want to do that because we spend a majority of the time building things in order to keep people in our lives so we can stay happy, because having people around makes us happy. Or maybe keeping a specific job makes us happy. But we know that if we stand up for ourselves and we create that war, we might lose that job or we might lose that person. And that's when things come in where we get stuck and stressed out. Don't do that to yourself, okay? You are beautiful. You're handsome. You're amazing. Just give yourself some time to get out of this entire thing. But at the same time, yes, it's okay to go out and have a good time just so you can get a breather. But don't keep yourself there. You have to make sure you face this thing, because if not, you're going to stay tangled for a very long time. And it's going to be hard to set yourself free. You got to do what is best for you right now, and what you've been fearing about putting yourself first, because you have to put in a lot of work. I think you need to. Because if not, you're going to continue going through the same old thing over and over again, waking up to the same situation every single day. And I know that that's not something that you want. So this is all I have for you right now. If this really resonated with you, please leave me some comments. Go ahead, give me some love and give me likes. And go ahead and subscribe. But this is definitely a read with my oracles, and the oracle cards that I use is Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck by Amanda Lovelace. So I will be putting everything that I used into the comments, I guess where you can find all the stuff that I used here. You guys can go ahead and find that link there. But you guys take care of yourself, okay? Bye.